All right, it's the Blurring Out with Eric Blair show. We're here at Namm Jam 2020, and I'm here with the actual architects of Beasto Blanco, Calico Cooper and Chuck Garrick. How are you guys doing?
We're doing amazing. How are you doing?
I'm doing great.
Thanks for having us, man.
Beasto Blanco is starting to have a lot of success. You guys are everywhere. You're touring everywhere. You're ubiquitous almost. What does that feel like to you to start in seeing your hard work pay off?
We've been working our ass off, man. I mean, you know, it's with Beasto Blanco. It's been a great ride. It's been super fun to watch this thing just sort of grow and take off, and you know, we've learned to be a band and how to, you know, what we're about by, you know, breaking down and getting out there and just grinding it out. So it's been a lot of fun, and we appreciate everybody that's been coming along for the ride with us.
Yeah, I mean, literally, we have worked our asses off. Collectively, we don't have a single ass. No asses.
No asses. Nope. And no asses in the band, because you won't put up with that.
You're right. No, we have a very select group of musicians. It's actually, you know, we're a very theatrical band, but it's important that the musicians in the band are actually consummate musicians, the best of the best. We really got lucky.
What do you guys got coming up?
Well, you know, we just released our third studio record, We Are. And in support of that album, we toured with Hellstorm and Palais Royale throughout the U.S. and Canada.
Yeah, it was amazing.
Yeah, and then this March 2020, we're going to be in Baltimore, and we're going to just look for some dates are going to be announced here in the next couple of days. So looks like, you know, the Chicago, making our way around the Midwest there and East Coast.
You know the run. Everybody does the run.
Tonight, you're going to be doing Ace of Spades with Carla Harvey. Is that correct?
Yes, Carla Harvey from the Butcher Babies, another great band.
How's that going to work? How are you guys going to trade off on that?
You know what's cool is I called her and I just said, how you want to split this up? And just together in 5 minutes we figured out like how to equally, because we have such different voices, but we're performers, and so we split it up, and we have not rehearsed it, so you're going to see a punk rock version of Ace of Spades with two metal chicks, and it's going to be amazing.
How does the energy you receive from an Alice Cooper audience differ from a Beasto Blanco audience?
It's very similar. We, both Alice and Beasto, have a really wide demographic. So you see everybody from 10-year-old kids to, like, you know, their grandparents. So the parents are bringing them and the grandparents are coming, and everybody's all in Alice gear and everybody's all in Beasto gear. And I love seeing, like, at an Alice show, you know, you've got the kids and the adults in the makeup. Same thing with Beasto now. We're starting to do it where, you know, the girls are showing up, teenage girls in my stage makeup. And I'm going, this is the coolest thing. So there's actually more similarities than differences.
Now, what inspired, like, as far as the makeup looks, what inspired those looks? What do they mean?
Well, for me, it's more of like, I love comic books, and I love the idea that, like, embrace kind of like your flaws, if you will. And I'm a really, really tall girl, so I would always like play Mortal Kombat and be like, oh, those girls look so badass. And so I started creating a look as if I were a Mortal Kombat character, and what would that look like? So this is a very PG-13 version of what Beasto does, but yeah, that was kind of like where that came from. And Chuck kind of took his like inner beast and made like an actual like sort of like man creature, like a Hulk out of it. So I just play off that.
What is the story on stage? What story are you representing through the music and the theatrics?
Well, I think it's just, you know, like for me personally, it's the story is just whatever fear you have, we turn it into courage. You know, we sort of find that thing that lives inside you, and then you're free to be whoever you want to be, express yourself however you want to be on stage with Beasto. And we encourage that through the audience as well. It's a time to just let go of all other thoughts and just be in the moment, be with us musically, be with us, you know, on stage, emotionally, everything. Just let it all out, because, you know, the freakier the better, the more misfits the better, because we're all in that, you know, sort of like that drive of 9 to 5 or whatever. We got to be a certain way. But when it comes time to hit the stage, that's our time to just sort of, you know, just be who we feel we want to be that night, and that's however we would, you know.
However you feel.
What are you getting back from the fans when you meet them after the shows? What are they telling you? How are you helping them?
What I love the most is when somebody listens to our songs. Like, we just ran into somebody here at the Namm convention, and this girl looks at me and she goes, "You make me feel fearless." And I was so taken aback, and Chuck goes, man, that was like the best compliment I've ever heard, because I am a human being and I'm flawed and I get scared about things, whatever, but whatever this creature is that I've created doesn't feel fear, and it doesn't feel sorry, and it doesn't feel anything other than just ownership, and just like, so I guess other people listening to it get that vibe, and we get played in the gym a lot. Our music is definitely like, I can do another lap, I can do another 20 minutes. It's really like, yeah, kind of inspiring like that, I think.
Yeah, I mean, Calico is very free-spirited on stage, and I think that's the one thing I get the most when I'm looking out at the audience and we're performing, and I see what people's reaction are, and I can see them almost looking right through me in a sense, because I'll be singing a tune, and I think, she's right behind me, isn't she? Like, something's happening. And I love that about Beasto, because although we may know the set list, we don't necessarily know the show sometimes. The show will change. So there'll be a thing that we'll do one night and it won't be there the next because we've decided to do something else. So there's just a lot of just, like I said, free-spirited reactions going on stage.
Now, you guys both, of course, toured with Alice, his band. At what point did you guys discover each other in a way that's like, you know what, we should go out and we should do a band together because we have chemistry?
I think you find that a lot. When you play a big tour like the Alice tour, you're only on stage for 2 hours a night. You're together the other hours of the day, stuck on buses and planes and trains. And I think like we had a very similar work ethic and like really creative. And we're just like, yeah, let's just get it weird. Let's go. And so we would sing together on jams just like this. I mean, you could find a band tonight that's being created at this jam. But that's how we figured it out, looking at each other going, that's what I would have done. That's what I would have done.
On your third album, We Are, what would be two of your favorite cuts off that album?
One of my favorite cuts is one of our singles that I got to sing most of the leads on. It's called Solitaire Rave. And it's just about a full-on meltdown when you're like by yourself, and it's so much fun to sing, and that's a song that I see people, react to, me too kind of thing. And then I love a song called Let's Rip, because I'm a Southern California skate punk kid at heart. So Let's Rip is like old, like Dogtown vans, like it just has that like that laid-back groove. I love those two tracks.
Chuck, two of my personal favorites on the record are the second song on the album, which is called Ready to Go, which has just turned into a real fan favorite live. It's kind of got a real thick stoner rock sound to it, which, some of my favorite albums to this day are in that genre of music, And then the song that Calico sings is Perception of Me, which is just tells a great story of, someone, wanting to be their own identity, and she kills it. It's fun.
Now, going back to the where does the no fear ethos come from? In here, where do you have that? Because it's easy to be scared of this world.
Yeah, I think it's a pretty powerful message. Like everything that's kind of happening right now is, you own your music. What kind of music you like is yours, and that's something that you can be proud of. And so for me, that no fear thing is, I'm afraid to like, I got to pay my taxes and I've got to do all this stuff, and it's a very thick environment of like, God, please don't let my car break down. I can't afford it right now. That kind of thing. For this hour and a half, when I'm playing in Beasto, or when you're listening to Beasto, you have permission to not feel that way. You have permission to feel empowered, which can kind of be hard to find. In what way do you feel empowered? Is it through, your job, your kids, your family? That's cool, whatever it is. But taking ownership of it and being like, yeah. And so I'm proud of this. So that's where I kind of come to life.
Chuck?
We call it the Beasto Credo. And it really started with the song Grind, I think, where we sort of started to figure out who we were, and, because we all come from different walks of life, but at the end of the day, we're blue collar, we work hard, and the opening line of that song is, I may not have been born with a crown on my head, but Mom gave me muscles and knuckles instead. And that's the truth. We all have it. We all got that fight in us, and you need it out there. You gotta be able to grind it out, and for the hour you're on stage, or 30 minutes, or whatever it is, the path it took us to get there it's been a grind, and now here we are, and it's time to let loose, not go inward, but go outward.
How hard is it? Because going back to the fear thing, and how hard is it for you guys to live every day in the moment, right where you're at?
You know what? Easier the more that we do this, because Beasto, because it is an original band and it takes a lot of work. It's a business, and so as much as we love doing it, it's a full-time job, and so I'm having an easier time now being in the moment, because every moment an email is coming through, every moment, so it can be easier to go, this has got to be taken care of today, right now, and it's actually bled into other areas of my life where I go, you know what, I'm not going to put it off right now. Let's do it right now. If you say, you know, I want to write a song, let's meet tomorrow. It's changed that sort of pattern for me.
Yeah. Well, for me, I anything that I associate fear with, if it's fear or uncertainty or separation or where you start doubting yourself or what you're doing, I don't focus on those thoughts. I just don't. There's really two ways to look at anything. There's either fear or there's love. And when you're choosing love and you want to do something, you're going to have a lot more success, and you're going to be open-minded when you're experiencing it in a loving way instead of a fearful way. If you're fear, you're closed off. You're not letting it out. So I don't even we talk about this all the time. If I have those thoughts, they go. I swipe them away, you know. What the hell are you doing, man? You get in this interview right now.
No,
He's taking over.
I'm just really sorry.
Here he needs
This is the only guy that is allowed to do that. And he doesn't miss a beat.
No, and he's right on time too. If you guys know who that was.
Well, I'm sorry, I have to ask you, because this is one of the questions we ask on the Blairing Out with Eric Blair show, is makeup must-haves. And you are in a theatrical band, so I want you to tell me your makeup must-haves, but I want you to name them.
All right, so on stage, makeup must-haves for men or women. For your face, if you don't want to sweat your whole face off, MAC Studio Tech is like spackle for your face. Nothing moves, so anything you put on top of MAC Studio Tech is like, it's on there. And I'd also say this company, NYX, has this liquid liner called Stiletto Black, and again, it's like a stamp on both eyes, and I usually paint on war wounds, like I have like big cuts and bruises everywhere, and that's Jeffree Star's Unicorn Blood. It's a velour liquid lipstick that looks like bruises, so I don't use like the actual fake cuts and bruises. I just draw them on wherever I feel like to draw them on. But those three products, they ain't going nowhere. That's where they're at. So be careful where you put them, because that's where they're staying.
Now let's just talk about the Studio Tech. MAC Studio Tech was an answer to MAC Studio Fix, because Studio Tech was a water-based foundation, full coverage, which was great at the time, that girls that were suffering with acne could wear it and it wouldn't break them out.
Yeah, and for me, I have really, really bad eczema, like hospital bad. And so I was lamenting that I couldn't use the Fix, because I loved it, but it was just like, oh, and I would itch so bad. But Studio Tech goes on, and it looks like just like liquid skin, like it's supposed to, and I don't constantly itch. And it comes off when I want it. Yep.
Now let's hit the mascara. Let's go through this real quick. Mascara name.
Okay, so Dior Show is a great mascara, and it also works if I want to do not skid mark, but actually look like I have like dragged my arm. I'll drag the mascara down that way. It works for I have kind of like strawberry blonde hair in real life, so if I got to fix it up real quick, black Dior Show just on the sides there. And it goes for eyebrows, because up close it can get kind of draggy, but on stage I look and I go, that doesn't even look like I have on that much makeup. So mascara, that, and then MAC makes a blue teal lipstick that I smear across my eye. It's retro gloss, but I don't remember the name of it. But it is a bright blue. It's the only bright blue one they have, but that is the one that stays on all night.
Eyeshadow.
It's a lipstick. Oh, eyeshadow for me. Eyeshadow is, honest to God, wherever the blue and the black melt. Like, I don't wear an eyeshadow. This is just like, we're jamming. It's an easy jam. But my Beasto makeup, I wear bright yellow contacts, so I let the sweat decide where the makeup goes. And it looks cool.
All right, and then what do we have on our lips tonight? And are you using a lip liner, or is that just straight liquid lipstick?
No, so tonight I have on the Kylie Lip Kit in a shade called Ulta. So this was a day to night look where I was at Namm all day, and so I used the Urban Decay Cherry Heat palette on my eyes, and then I just put a little extra flair on for the show tonight. But yeah, it actually transitioned pretty well. So when you're wearing boots and dreads, you can kind of like the makeup can kind of chill for a jam.
What do you fill your eyebrows in with?
My eyebrows, I use a brow boing from Benefit. Yeah, so it's this like brow powder, and it's a wax, so they don't move either.
Okay, and then how do you prep your skin before you put your foundation on?
So there's a Bobby Brown he's just like yes, absolutely.
Sorry, Chuck. I'm sorry.
I'm learning.
Okay,
I'm learning.
I have to hold on to you.
I thought I knew everything about this girl.
You don't know anything.
I don't know.
Bobby Brown has a primer, and it's a silicone base, so it'll stay put. But when I want it to come off, I don't have to like over scrub my skin because, like I said, the eczema is so bad. So Bobby Brown primer, and then I finish with Urban Decay's All Nighter.
Sounds great. All right, what's next for you guys?
Tonight, right now.
This moment, since we're in the moment.
That's right.
It's tonight.
They've learned the art of being in the moment, and we all need to be there because you know what? Too many nights staying up till 4 a.m, worrying, thinking about the past or thinking about the fears of the future and not getting any sleep.
It's right now. So we're going to play some songs tonight, and that's what's next for us in this moment.
Calico,
so nice to meet you, Chuck.
Chuck, you rock.
Thanks, my brother.
Love you guys. Blairing out with Eric Blair. Signing off.
Bye.
The Blairing Out Show.